Let's talk about something that most people are too afraid to say out loud. Because when you say it, people get defensive. But here's the truth, some foreign men don't just fall in love with a Filipina, they fall in love with her dependence. They love that she needs them, they love that she looks up to them, ask permission, and say thank you for everything. And when that starts to change, when she becomes confident, earns her own money, or simply starts thinking for herself, suddenly she's the problem. Oh, she's not the same woman I married. She changed. She became materialistic. No, she didn't become materialistic. She became aware. And awareness threatens control. And that's what we're unpacking today, the unspoken truth behind why some foreign men want Filipinas to stay poor. Let's talk real talk. It starts beautifully. He promises to take care of her. He tells her she never has to worry about bills again. He insists she quits her job because I can provide. And for a while, it seems like it feels like love. He is generous, kind, protective. He buys her things she never had before: good food, new clothes, maybe even a phone. And she's genuinely grateful. But slowly, that kindness turns into currency. Every gesture becomes a silent receipt. Suddenly, it's I'm the one who feeds you. I bought your phone. I pay for everything here. And without realizing it, the woman starts living in debt to the man she loves. That's not partnership, that's emotional colonization. And so let's dive. Let's talk about culture. Because this is where it gets tricky. In Filipino culture, gratitude is a core value. We say thank you not just out of manners, but out of the heart. We show it through service, loyalty, and sacrifice. So when a Filipina is with a man who provides, she shows appreciation, she cooks, cleans, serves, supports, and prioritizes him. But here's the twist. Some men mistake that gratitude for permission to dominate. They start believing her kindness means she'll never question them. They assume her loyalty means she'll tolerate anything. And when she eventually finds her voice, they panic. Because what they really love wasn't her culture, it was her silence. And so going to the psychology of control. You see, control doesn't always look like shouting or violence. Sometimes it looks like kindness with conditions. It's, I love you, but I decide for you. It's, I will provide, but don't question me. It's, you don't need to work, but remember who pays the bills. That's how dependency becomes a strategy. Psychologically, many controlling partners fear abandonment. They've been rejected before. They've been divorced, humiliated, or made to feel powerless. So when they come to the Philippines, they subconsciously look for a relationship where they can feel in control again, where their money guarantees loyalty, where they can see, I'm needed. But when they're really chasing isn't love, it's ego recovery. And so poverty as power dynamics. Let's talk about this. But let's be honest too, poverty in the Philippines plays a big role in these dynamics. A lot of Filipinos grow up seeing foreign men as a chance for stability, not out of greed but out of survival. So when a man offers help, many see it as a blessing. But that's also where the danger begins because power starts to shift. He becomes not just the boyfriend or husband, but the savior. And when a person starts playing savior, the other is forced to stay the saved. So even when Filipina wants to start her own businesses, he says, mm, no need, I'll take care of it. When she wants to send money to her family, he says, Why do you always prioritize them? And when she wants her own income, he says, why don't you trust me? And that's not protection. That's possession disguised as love. And so let's jump to the traditional is not powerless. Many of these men defend themselves by saying, I want a traditional woman. But let's make something clear. Traditional Filipinas are not weak. They're not supposed to be controlled. They are the backbone of families, the silent leaders of communities, and the emotional core of Filipino households. Our Lolas didn't stay home because she was powerless. She stayed home because that was the cultural system, and yet she ran the family like a general. So when a foreign man says he wants a traditional Filipina, what he often really wants is a submissive one, a woman who obeys, not one who decides, a woman who's grateful but never questions. But the modern Filipina, she learned that tradition and independence can coexist. She can be loving, feminine, and respectful, but still powerful. And diving with us money and freedom, the silent war. Money is not just about buying things, it's about agency. The ability to choose, to move, to say yes or no. When a Filipina earns her own money, she earns her voice, and that's what some men fear. Because when she's financially independent, she can leave, she can question, she can negotiate, and that destroys the illusion of control. That's why you will hear them say things like, she became arrogant after earning her own money. She used to be so sweet before she starts her own business. No, she didn't change. She just stopped begging for permission. And so the real meaning of partnership, the healthiest Filipino foreigner relationships I've seen are not based on money. They're based on mutual growth. It, it's when he says, let's build something together. When she says, thank you, and he replies, no, thanks us. But when both understand that love isn't about hierarchy, but teamwork. Because real partnership is when both people have power and both use it to lift each other. If you want a Filipina who will love you for life, then don't keep her poor. Help her grow. Help her rise. Because when she's happy, stable, and confident, that's when her loyalty becomes real. Not forced, not bought, but earned. So to the foreign man, if you truly love a Filipina, don't silence her by feeding her dependency. Feed her dreams, support her education, her businesses, her growth. Because when you do, you'll have a partner, not a prisoner. And to my fellow Filipinas, don't confuse being taken care of with being taken control of. You can still be soft, loving, and traditional without surrendering your freedom, because love should never require poverty to survive. Real love empowers, real love respects, real love builds both. And if he only wants you small, quiet, and dependent, then maybe he never wanted a partner. He just wanted a proof of his power. But you were never born to be proof of someone's ego. You were born to rise and to love from strength, not from fear.